61 persons who established the Sangha, and we know that how the Sangha, after the Jatilas and the others persons, yes, and Sariput and Mogalan, how the persons were coming together and the Sangha was developed. When the Sangha was developed, there were no rules. Later on, the rules were framed, and then for the monks there were 229 rules, and for the nuns there were 311 rules. They were divided into, you can say, 8 sections from Parajika to Sekhiya Dhamma. We are not going to discuss in a very detailed manner, but we will come to know that how the Sangha, you can say, the development of the Sangha was related with the development of the education of the Buddha. When the rules were framed, there was the need of the teachers. There were the need of the imparting the scriptural and the practical teachings to the monks and the nuns. So the whole history of the Sangha, you can say, signifies the development or the origin of the Buddhist education. So from here, the development of the Buddhist education started from here. That is why I am giving the background of the Sangha, that how the Sangha was originated. Previously, all the persons who were wishing, they were joining to the Sangha, but later on, there were some restrictions that who are the persons who are eligible for getting admission to the, you can say, in the Sangha. The thieves, the robbers, they were also joining to the Sangha for having the, you can say, food and the shelter into the Sangha. But later on, the rules were framed and they were not allowed to enter into the Sangha. So lastly, this the teachings of the Buddha, they are divided into 3 parts, you can say, Pariyatti, Patipatti, and the Pativedana. These are the 3 terms, the whole teachings of the Buddha. Pariyatti is nothing but the scriptural teachings of the Buddha. That is, the canonical teachings of the Buddha is called as Pariyatti. And the practical aspects of the teachings of the Buddha, like the meditational practices, Kamathan, the objects of the meditations, Dhutangas, and the other strict meditation is called as, you can say, Patipatti. That is the Vipassana and other, you can say, they were developed out of the Kamathan, 40 objects of meditations, and they were the development of the Kalyana Mitra and the Charyas, how they were developed later on, and the rules were framed out. So this is the, you can say, Pariyatti and the Patipatti. And in between that, there was a concept of Pativedana, how to, by penetrating into the nature of the reality, that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, all dhammas are subject to soulless. This is called as Pativedana. Through the Pativedana, a person comes to know about the right understanding, that is the Panya, and through Panya, a person is able to develop the, you can say, Vipassana, that is the insight, that is the special knowledge, and through that a person is able to go through the 4 stages of the Arhathood, that is the Sotapatti, Sakdagami, Anagami, and Arhat, and then a person is able to get a state of eternal bliss, that is the Nibbana. Now, we are coming to the word, the concept of education. This was related with the concept of, you can say, the Buddhism and the teachings of the Buddha. Now, we are coming to the actual term related with the education. What do we really mean the term education, you can say? There are 2 Latin words related with the education, educere or educare. The Latin term educare means to draw with, to put with. That is the two meanings of the educare. And the educare, eduseer and educare, there are the two terms. Eduseers means that is the to bring forth. These are the two terms, Latin terms, from where the English term, the education, has been derived, you can say. But what does it mean? You can say, draw with and to put with, that is the, you can say. It has been, you can say, defined by the scholars that to draw the best of the talents which is latent form in a child to the development of a man, you can say. That is the drawing, you can say. Drawing of the best of the talent which is latent form in a child, you can say. That is the meaning of the educare, you can say. To bring forth, that is the another meaning of Latin word, that is the eduseer. That is the bring forth, that is the bring forth the moral development and the character development. These are the two Latin words which have been defined by the scholars. The term education has been defined as a, you can say, to impart the moral ethics to an individual. The term education has been defined by so many our ancient philosophers and the modern, our, you can say, philosophers of India also. First of all, our Aristotle has defined that this education is nothing but it is a supreme power that accompanies the whole of the society. That has been defined by our, you can say, Aristotle. Again, this Plato says that education is nothing but it takes a person from the mental development to the physical development. Again, there is a Latin dictum that a healthy mind has a healthy body. That, you can say, is correlated with the, you can say, definition given by our Plato. Again, there is another philosopher, J. Rousseau. He has defined that education is derived from the nature, people, and the things. There are three things: nature, person, and the things. This education has been derived, you can say. Again, this education is an effective mode of communication to impart the moral ethics to an individual. Again, another scholar, Pestalozzi, has defined the concept of education in the form of the three heads, you can say. That is the head, heart, and hands. These are the three terms, you can say. Pestalozzi has defined that this education is nothing but it is the development of the three, you can say, things: head, heart, and the hands, you can say. Development of the head signifies the development of the knowledge, that is the jnana, and the yan, you can say. Development of our heart signifies the development of our attitude, behavior, and other things, you can say. And the development of hands is nothing but it is called as skills, you can say. How we are skilled in any performing our duty. So these three terms are, you can say, are related with the concept of education defined by Pestalozzi. Again, in the Buddhism, we are having the three terms which are correlated with this term education, that is the sonatha, dharatha, and charatha dhamme. These are the three terms. Sonatha means that listen the teachings of the Buddha very carefully. Dharatha, that is the digest it completely. and Charat Dhamma, that it is in the sense of the, you can say, move properly in the society based upon the teachings of the Buddha. These are the three terms which are correlated with the three development of the, you can say, head, heart, and the hands defined by the astrologer. So these three terms are, you can say, correlated with that. But according to the scriptures, Buddhist scriptures, we are having the three terms which are correlated with the terms education. There are three terms, that is the Sikha, Vinaya, and the Jnana. These are the three terms which are available in our Pali canonical literatures. We find in the Pali grammar also that there is a Sikha Nirutti Cha. These are the two terms. Sikha is the grammar, Nirutti is the language, you can say. And then what is the Sikha? It has been defined by the, you can say, Kachan, you can say Mahathir, and the Moggalan, you can say Mahathir. So these are the Sikha is, again, we are having in the Visuddhimagga also Acharya Buddha Ghosh defines Sikha, that Tividh Tisso Sikha. In the Visuddhimagga, Acharya Buddha Ghosh says that there are three types of education, Sikha. They are Adhisila Sikha, Adhichitta Sikha, and Adhipanya Sikha. These are the three types of Sikha which were defined by Acharya Buddha Ghosh. Buddha Ghosh said that Silena Adhisila Sikha Pakasita Hoti, Samadhina Adhichitta Sikha Pakasita Hoti, Panyaya Adhipanya Sikha Pakasita Hoti. By the morality, by the virtue, there is the, you can say, explanation or the throwing light on the Adhisil, Adhichit, by the, you can say, Samadhi, and by Panya, there is the development of the Adhipanya. So these are the three terms. Now, in the commentary of the Visuddhimagga, Paramatha Dipani, Acharya Dhammapal defines the term Sikha in the sense of the Asevana, that is the repetition. Asevanam Chetha, Sikhanam Chetha, Asevanam Datthabam. That here Sikha or the trainings, here Sikhas are in the sense of the trainings. That is the, you can say, mental training and the physical training. These are the mainly two trainings, we can say. Even if we are having the military camps where the persons are being trained to go to the war and other things, you can say. So here the monks and the nuns, they are also trained physically and the vocally and the mentally. Because Buddha says that O monks, I say consciousness as volition, and chetitva kaya kammam karoti, vachi kammam karoti, mano kammam karoti. That a person does the actions related with the physical kaya kamma, vachi kamma, that is the vocal actions, and the mental actions, that is the mano kamma. So these three types of actions are being trained by the Sikha. And here Asevana, that is the, it is in the sense of the repetitions, you can say. Repetitions in the sense of the monks and the nuns, they are asked to repeat again and again the restrainment of our senses, that is the Indriya Sambar Sila, Patimukha Sambar Sila, Ajiva Parisuddhi Sila. So by restraining again and again, they can be trained in the sense of the Sikha, you can say. So in that sense, there is a equal term here in the Pali scriptures related with the Sikha. Again, there is the term Vinaya, which is coming. There is a, you can say, Pitaka, which is called as Vinaya Pitaka, you can say. In the Vinay has been defined by the, you can say, Vinay is another name of the discipline, or you can say Vinay is another name of the regulation of the physical and the vocal actions. Acharya Buddha Ghosh defines the term Vinay as Vinay, विविध विशेषणयता विनियतो चेव काया वाचनम विनियत विदोहि अयम विनियोपि अख्यातम. The knower of the meaning of Vinay says that by prescribing several physical and the vocal norms or the regulations, there is the name of the, you can say, Vinay. Vividhi Visheshanayata Vinayato Chev Kaya Vachanam. That by training the physical and the vocal, you can say, actions, by prescribing several norms, Vividhi Visheshanayata, this is called Ayam Viniyopi Akhatam. So this is called as a Vinay, you can say. And in the Vinay, we are having the Parajika, Pachitya, Mahavag, Chulavag. These are the four main basic texts, except there is a Parivar in the last. There is the, you can say, in Vinay Pitak, in all the text of the Vinay, Vinay Pitak, we are having the rules and regulations for the monks and the nuns in the form of the, you can say, Bhikkhu Patimukha and the Bhikkhuni Patimukha. So these have been described in the Vinay. There is another name of the, you can say, education that is called as Yana, that is the Gyan or knowledge, you can say. So here there are the knowledge, that is the right understanding. Kusal Chitta Sampayuttam Vipassana Yanam Ti Paya. Here Yan is nothing but the knowledge of the right understanding by which this Yan, that a person comes to know about the real nature of the thing, that is the, you can say, Anicca, Dukh and Anatta. So here Yan is, again it has been defined in the text Dhammasangani also, that Dukkhe Yanam, Dukh Samudaya Yanam, Dukh Nirodham Yanam, Dukh Nirodhagamni Patipata Yanam, Id Pachayata Yanam, Pate Samujpannesu Dhammesu Yanam. See, knowledge of all these Four Noble Truths and the law of conditionality and the law of dependent origination, this is called as, you can say, education. So, until unless we are not having the knowledge of all these four, you can say, noble truth, eightfold path and law of dependent origination, law of conditionality, this is the concept of the education in our Pali scriptures. Now, as we have discussed about the origin and the development of the Sangha, that how the, initially there were 61 persons who established the Sangha, the assembly of the persons, after discriminating all the caste, color and the creed. This culture was, you can say, developed, and there was the need of the, you can say, imparting the knowledge. Who will impart the knowledge to the bhikkhu or the bhikkhunis? Then there was the need of the preceptors. They were known as Upadhyaya and the Acharya. And the pupils, the monks and nuns who were pupils of the Acharyas and the Upadhyayas, they were known as the Antevasi and the Sadhibiharik. The pupils, the students who were associated with the Upadhyaya, they were called as Sadhibiharik, and the people or the students who were associated with the Acharya, they were called as Antevasi. Upadhyaya, in Sanskrit it is called as Upadhyaya. And we are having the concept of teachers in the Buddhist education or Buddhist Sangha from our Brahmanas also. So it was not a, you can say, innovation of the Buddha, but all the, you can say, the concept of the educations which were taken from the, you can say, Brahman, you can say. And there was a difference. There was no concept, anyone who does not belong to Brahman, who does not belong to any, you can say, low caste, he is eligible to join the Sangha, you can say. So that was the difference, you can say. So initially that the monks from non-Brahman schools, in the Brahman schools or Gurukuls, only the Brahmanas were allowed to go there to have the knowledge. But here there was the, you can say, open to all, you can say, persons. So the concept of Upadhyay or Upajjhay or Acharya or Acharya, the duty of the Acharya was to impart the practical knowledge or the, you can say, meditational aspect or dhutangas, or these types of teachings were given by Acharya. The Upadhyay, he was imparting the knowledge related with the scriptures from the canonical, that is from the, you can say, Tipitaka, Vinay Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. These were imparting the knowledge from the, you can say, they were called as Upadhyay. The relation between Upadhyay and the Saddhi was the same as the father and the son. The duty of the Upadhyay to look after the student, that is the Saddhi. And when the Saddhi becomes ill, he used to look after the, you can say, or nursing the, to nurse the